Welcome back to Huddle Up. 2 weeks down in the CFL season, 2 episodes down of our show. Thomas Pocrnic, Luca Celebre. Luca, what's going on, man?
Not much, man. This is it's been exciting doing these, seeing the response, seeing who you guys want us to interview next. We've got another interview for this show. Saskatchewan Roughriders fans are going to really enjoy this one. Maybe some Chicago Bears or Cincinnati Bengals fans as well, because spent a brief moment
little
there.
Easter eggs there.
Little
I
Easter
like
egg,
it.
yeah, exactly. But I'm doing great. It's been a great start to the CFL season so far. How are you? Excited?
Yeah, excited. I mean, if we want to talk about the show, the guests have been awesome. Gary, the first week, gave a great interview, and last week it was really special to have Andrew Harris in the studio. You know, him just walking in with that club of a ring, championship ring on his hand. That was really interesting to see up close and in person. So it's been great. It's been a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to continuing doing these. And as a whole, I mean, it's great to have football on TV again. Honestly, it's exciting. A lot of the games have been, high scoring. We've seen some great plays, some star players putting on a show, pretty much picking up right where they left off. But yeah, we have a lot to get into today, and like you said, we do have another special guest. So exciting.
It's gonna be hard to top Andrew Harris. He was incredible. Like, he was just amazing. I know in studio beat Zoom any day, so like I'm biased towards that a little bit, because you're here, you're interacting, you can pick up on someone's just energy and vibe a little better when they're in person. But we'll see if our guest today can top Harris.
No pressure.
No pressure.
I mean, those anecdotes about him reffing hockey, and it was a lot of fun.
It was a good one. If you haven't watched it, go watch it.
Yeah.
It's great.
Watch it before you even get into the rest of today's show.
There we go.
But anyways, like we said, week 3 in the CFL. Some teams have only played 1 game, but for the most part, a lot of teams 2 games down. This is sort of now where you start to, I mean, it is still early, but we already see some teams sort of start to separate themselves from the rest. And we're greeted with a pretty big matchup in the West this week, and that's the BC Lions taking on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, a rematch of was it the West Final last year? Yeah, so a lot on the Lions, some revenge for the Lions. They look a little different with Vernon Adams at the helm, but I think this brings us into a new segment, a newly debuted segment called the Audible, where essentially we're going to look at a trending debate around the league, a hot topic, and we're both going to pick a side. And we don't even have time to huddle. We just got to get right into it and state our case. So this week, with these 2 heavyweights going at it, why not? We're going to pick which 2-0 team is better. Who is the best team in the West? We're obviously going to maybe find out from the game.
Yep.
But leading up to it, we're both going to pick a side. So I'll let you sort of take the floor and get us going here.
Well, I'm going with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers because I think they're the best CFL team that I've seen in my lifetime as far as like a dynasty goes, where every year they're the favorite to win. And this 4-year run that they've been on, that's ended with 2 Grey Cup wins, a Grey Cup loss last year against Toronto, but out of the gates 2-0 again. Zach Collaros, his comeback story, his just career restoration project that he needed to have happen and needed to be in Winnipeg for it to happen, has been just unbelievable to watch. And not only that, but like, they just don't slow down. They just add pieces, and Kenny Lawler is not in the receiving corps right now, but that doesn't matter, because every week it's like, okay, Nick Dembski or Dalton Schoen or Drew Wolotarski stepping up, and then Andrew Harris leaves. Oh wait, we've got Brady Oliveira, this Canadian running back who also can put up 100 yards a game and is great in the pass game. And then on defense, it's like Willie Jefferson, guy doesn't slow down. He's a train and just ruins your game plan offensively if you can't block him. They're great in the secondary. They've got great special teams, as we saw last week. So they are just solid in all 3 levels. The coach has been there forever, Mike O'Shea. He knows what this team is all about. They are dialed in from week 1. They have scored the most points in the league. I think their defense is probably better than they've played so far this season. I don't know how you can bet against these guys. Like, Zach Collaros is going to be the MOP again. He's gonna win it again.
It is tough with all that they've shown and all that they continue to show. And of course, they are, like, if you look at their first 2 weeks, they have literally picked up pretty much right where they left off. I know there was a bit of a stumble in the Grey Cup final last year. In the biggest game. But, I mean, last season they were so dominant, and they start off this season looking so dominant. But the reason why I'm going to buy into the Lions is because I don't think they've quite hit their ceiling yet, and I think that's something that we're going to see later on in the season. And it starts with the main man. I've been singing his praises since the first episode, and that's Vernon Adams, because this guy brings it all. He brings the swagger, he brings the finesse, the touch, and he's been great and very efficient in the passing game. And I think we're going to start to see these BC Lions use him a little bit more as a runner, because that sort of we haven't seen it get going yet. And this is a team last year, they had so many weapons. You mentioned the Bombers, Dembski, Schoen. I mean, you got Rhymes, you got Keon Hatcher, who is hurt. He's not even, he hasn't even been activated yet. And then you have Lucky Whitehead, who had over 1,000 yards last year. They haven't even gotten him going yet. So I think because Vernon Adams is, I'll call him new, because last year was the whole Nathan Rourke train, and he didn't really have enough time to sort of make it his own team. By the time he gets comfortable, I really think if you capitalize on all the weapons that this BC Lions team has, and of course, friend of the show, Gary Peters locking it down on the defensive end, this is going to be a very, very dangerous team and a real threat to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. So this week is going to be a pretty epic matchup. And I'm sure we'll be greeted with some more down the stretch, because these two teams do look like the two to beat. But I'm going to go with the BC Lions and Vernon Adams.
I love Vernon Adams. I've loved him ever since he was at Oregon, and just following him in college, wanting him to just be that guy throughout his CFL career. And he was a little bit with Montreal, and he's made so many just splash plays throughout his CFL career. So I get the love for Vernon Adams. VA's my guy too, but beating the MOP, Zach Caleros in Winnipeg, and I know this is more than just a 1 week thing. Like we're going season outlook here. So what a statement win if BC can get this done in Winnipeg to go to 3-0. Winnipeg doesn't lose at home. Like it's just not something they do, and haven't done, quite frankly, a lot during this kind of 3-year run. So if they're able to do that, like, wow, what a start to your year.
It would be a big statement, especially on the road. You know how those Winnipeg fans are too. They get rowdy. So it's going to be a tough game, a lot of adversity, but we'll see how they handle it. Elsewhere, let's get into our guest.
Yeah.
Because this is a guy who brings a lot of speed, if you will, and a lot of flash. And I think it's really, really exciting, because the last 2 weeks we had a corner on, we had a running back on. So we hit defense, we hit offense. And I think what's really great is that we got a special teamer on the show today, and a kick returner and punt returner, which makes it even more exciting, because I think this is a position that often gets underlooked, especially in the CFL with some of the different rules. They really, really have the opportunity to just break the game open. I think that's what we're going to see from our guy today. So let's welcome onto the show Mario Alford of the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
What's up, man? How y'all doing today?
Doing well. Excited to chat with you today. How's the season been so far?
Oh man, it's good. We 2 games in, working on the third one this week, so not too bad. We obviously wasn't happy for losing the last one, but it's all right. We felt pretty good going out of it, and we're gonna be okay.
I love that mindset. It's early in the season, like you mentioned, and there's still a long way to go before we get to the playoffs and the Grey Cup. Now, for you personally, last year winning special teams player of the year, an incredible accomplishment. When you first came to the CFL, was that something you envisioned for yourself? Was that kind of a personal goal that you had, or was that kind of something that just it fell into place and it was one of those things that you were just happy to win in the moment?
It was just one of them things. I was just happy to win, man. I never had no goals going in. My mindset was just to play and be the best player I can be in that moment. And it just came with it, with doing it for so long and just knowing the game. Eventually, I had to get it awarded with something. So it came along, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, you got a special place for that award in your house, or?
Yeah, it's in my man cave.
There you go.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
That's good to hear.
Love that.
Yeah.
Obviously, you spent some time south of the border in the NFL, and there's some different rules, especially when it comes to returns in the CFL. So what's maybe the biggest difference in your craft in the Canadian Football League that you've noticed?
Obviously, they got to give you 5 yards on punt return, and in the NFL is different. They don't have to give you no yards, and the guys just coming on at full speed. So up here, man, the returners, you get to show your ability, because most of the time in the NFL, you got to fair catch the ball. So it's way different. You get to actually use your speed, and most every time they keep the ball to you here, you got to return it no matter what. So I think that's a unique thing about this game up here, and I love it, especially with my skill set with this huge field and stuff like that. It's fun to play.
Is the 5 yards, like giving 5 yards for the CFL, is that something you think that other leagues should adapt just to get special teams more involved? Is that one of those things that you'd love to see just all football kind of adapt, because it does put such an emphasis on actually being a special teams player?
I think all leagues should do that. Just to see the ability some of the returners in the game of football in general have, man. They never get to show their skills most of the time because they got to fair catch the ball. And up here you get to see it. Like a lot of guys think the returners up here is so good that we can go back down and play in the South, which may be the case, but at the same time the returners in the NFL are good too, I'm sure. We just don't get to see them do what they do because they always got to fair catch the ball. So I think that's something that would be fun to see.
Yeah, and I think your position is really unique because you're in a situation where you can really break a game open. I mean, a big return doesn't even have to be for a touchdown, but just it gives your offense such a boost and it really lifts the sideline. And I think the more you see that in the CFL, really, really helps the game a lot. Do you specifically have maybe a favorite return in your whole career that you really remember and say like, wow, that was awesome?
I like the one I did last year, man. The Toronto, the one that missed field goal one from last year. And even in college when we played Alabama, when I took one back from Alabama, hey, that place lit up too, man. And it was fun. I don't know which one I liked the most. That one or the one in Alabama, but they both was good though. So
I was watching the Alabama one today, just like in preparation. That was incredible. Just made the one guy miss. He came in hot, and then you just were gone up the sideline. And like against Alabama crazy too, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. Against Alabama, they was going in cocky, and we was in that game with them. I had all my family there. It was in my home state, so man, it felt good. All my family, they was out. They was tailgating before the game, and it just was a good one, man. It's a good atmosphere, good feeling. But also the one this past year here at home against Toronto was pretty good too. So
you mentioned that missed field goal against Toronto, and I guess that's also a difference you see in the CFL as opposed to the NFL. More missed field goal returns for sure with the bigger end zones and all that stuff. But as far as watching other returners go, we saw Janorian Grant last week. Thoughts on that, and just who are some of your favorite returners in the league that you like watching on film and just seeing how they're doing, because there are so many special ones in the CFL.
It's some dynamic guys up here, man. It's, Janarian Grant, he had a great one. Chandler Worthy, what's the guy name over there? BC Williams, Terry Williams, the guy from Hamilton. There's some guys up here, man, and Devontae Dedman. Hopefully he come back strong, from his injuries. But there's some guys up here, man, that's pretty good. And I like to watch. Like tomorrow, I'll be watching Grant and Terry Williams going at it. So I like to watch the guys and see what they doing, and I'm sure they do the same with me.
Yeah, I want to ask you a little bit about celebrating these big returns. You had one in Montreal by going, you celebrated by going into the stands. Obviously, the Roughriders, I always say that they're known for the best fans in the CFL. There's just so much passion there. Would you ever celebrate by running into the crowd in Saskatchewan? And I know they're known for the watermelon hats there too that the fans like to put on. Would you ever put one of those on?
Yeah, I will, man. Like I think we'll get fined though, but I heard that our GM will pay our fines if we did it. So
yeah, there you go.
I may just do that, man, just to get a crowd a good little, little present. So we'll see. Like I really don't celebrate too much. I'm just one of the guys that, act like you've been there guys before. But it's fun to celebrate. I think I'm gonna bring a little trick out this year, so a few little dances in here, but I'm gonna keep that one in mind about going in the
There you
stand.
go.
I think we get a fine for it, but I'm not even gonna care.
I love that. What was your first like feelings or thoughts when you saw Saskatchewan fans just wearing the watermelon heads? Like what just goes through your mind when you see that for the first time coming up to Canada?
They some crazy fans about their football, which I love it. It just make the players want to win for for our fans and stuff, man. That's especially in this small town, and I mean, it's nothing else to do here, but so why not win? So I think especially to bring a Grey Cup back here. Can you imagine? Oh my gosh, it'd be crazy.
You all got to wear watermelons
Yeah.
on your head if you win the
Yeah.
Grey Cup during the
Oh
parade.
man, for sure, that'd be fun.
There you go. There you go.
If we talk about, big picture record breakers, obviously you won the Special Teams Player of the Year last year, but career records, the most ever kickoff return touchdowns in a career is 5. Is that something you think you're going to beat when it's all said and done?
For real, yeah, man. I'm gonna give it a shot this year. I'm gonna see.
Ooh, I love it.
I set a pretty high bar this past season, so I gotta do something to top that. So we'll see. Like I said, I kind of just gonna go with the flow and play my game and not think about it too much. But again, though, I got a record in my head. I'm gonna keep to myself until the end.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Well, we'll have to follow up on you with you then at the end and see what that
Yeah, for
record is
sure.
and if you got there. And we hope you do. One more question just on the return game. I mean, when you watch it, what do you think the biggest key to a successful return is? Because obviously you're the one with the ball in your hands, but there's other guys on the field doing their assignments as well. So as far as just the biggest key to a successful return in your mind, what do you think that is?
Just seeing the field, man, and making guys miss. Just being elite with the ball, like just it's some stuff you can teach. What Janari and Greg just did, like this past game against us, you can't teach that. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that you just can't teach. So just having that in your bag, man, and just being able to see the field and make plays like that, it's real unique to have in your bag. So a lot of people can't do it, but some guys can. And just like I said, being able to see the field and know how to make your cuts and make your reads.
It really seems like it's a lot of people may want to just like be all speed, but it does take some patience too, just to like
take patience?
not just go full speed.
No.
Exactly.
Take patience, just like it's just knowing the feel and just
Yeah.
I can't even describe it. You just gotta have it. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like I can't
Yeah.
coach that. I can't coach guys how to be a returner. Like coach can't coach me how to be a returner, but he can coach me what hole that it possibly hit in or where it's supposed to hit.
Yeah.
But 9 times out of 10, you don't even hit in that hole because you know what I'm saying. So that's why it's just a skill that you gotta have.
It's so true. It's so true. And I noticed just watching your returns too. Like sometimes you're going full speed, but other times it's like you catch the ball, you look around for a second, and
Yeah.
it's so different on every one. It's just a fascinating kind of art to watch, and you're really good at it. Obviously,
It's a art to it, if that makes sense. You just gotta
yeah.
you gotta know, man. Like even like on that missed field goal, I didn't come out full speed. You saw I came out just throttling. Then I did a little made that guy miss, and then you just gotta have it, man.
All right, before we let you go, we love to do a segment on the show that we call 3 Downs. So we're going to give you a prompt, and you got to give us 3 answers for it. And we're talking today the fastest guys in the CFL. So you can include yourself, but who is your top 3 fastest guys in the league?
Top 3 fastest. Myself, number 1. Fast. Let me think on each team.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put Lucky Whitehead in there. And I'm gonna put Chandler Worthy number 2 and Lucky Whitehead number 3.
That's a solid list. A lot of
Yeah.
speed.
Ton of speed.
For sure.
But anyways, Mario, thank you so much for joining us today. We wish you best of luck the rest of the season. I'm sure we'll be keeping up with you, and we're excited to see you chase more records. So
Yeah,
best of
for
luck,
sure,
and we appreciate talking to you.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Great stuff there from Mario Alford. Thank you for joining us. A lot of fun as always, and we wish you best of luck the rest of the season. But Luca, before we close the show today, we got to get into the extra point. A final thought to close off the week and to look ahead at the games for this week's extra point. we're going to get a little bold. Each give a bold prediction of the games to come. Spice things up for the week.
Do you want me to start?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So we've got a fun matchup in Hamilton this week, and Bo Levi Mitchell not going to be playing. He's going to be dressing maybe. It's a little weird, but Bo's not playing. Matthew Schultz, the backup, they signed him away from the team they're playing against, the Montreal Alouettes. Reason why this matchup is so fascinating, not only could Hamilton start the season 0-3 if they lose and really be behind the 8 ball after kind of going out, making all these moves, Bo's bringing all his guys over, Grey Cup's in Hamilton again, like they want to be in it. But Montreal could go to 2-0 if they win this game. And my bold prediction is that Schultz is going to put on a show. He's going to right the ship for the Ticats. They're going to get a huge W. And it's a bit of a revenge game in that sense because he was in Montreal. They had every opportunity to sign him, bring him back. He could have been the starter. Instead, they go out and go get Cody Fajardo. So they basically said to you, Matthew Schultz, hey, we don't think you're good enough to be the starter for our team. We're going to get someone else. Now is your time to prove that you are more than capable of being the starter. And if you saw last week when he came in relief of Bo, he did some really nice things against the Argos. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he's got to serve up against his former club in Montreal. And I'm hoping he gets the win because I feel like those revenge games are always nice. And he's probably not forgotten about the offseason when he didn't sign back there. And maybe he didn't want to sign back there, but there's something there of Montreal going out to get Cody and him not coming back.
Yeah, and I think the Ticats did, nothing against Bo, but it looked like they did have a bit of a jump when he came in. He made some nice throws.
He can move too.
Yeah.
He's got some legs.
Yeah.
He's got some legs.
He sort of looks like Bo with the swagger too. I always say Bo is the best on-field style, I think, in all of football.
Schultz has got the visor though. Like he's pretty swaggy.
But I think selfishly as well, for my sake, it was only 3 weeks ago I picked the Ticats to win the Grey Cup. So, they're 0-2. I really don't want to see 0-3 because for my own sake, I just don't want to see that. My bold prediction this week, we're going to go back to where we just were, Saskatchewan, with our nice friend Mario Alford. And maybe this is low-hanging fruit because we just had him on the show and we talked about kick returns, punt returns, breaking records and all that. I'm going to say that Mario Alford for the Saskatchewan Roughriders has not one, but 2 return touchdowns in 1 week, and it's going to create buzz around the league we'll call it the Huddle Up effect. Because, Andrew Harris had a touchdown last week, and I don't think that was any coincidence that was pretty fresh after coming in to chat with us. So I think Mario Alford is going to get into the end zone twice. It could be 2 kick returns. It could be 2 punt returns, 1 of each. I don't care. I think he's going to do it. That's the bold prediction, and that's the extra point for week 3.
Anyone that comes on the show, your stats are just going through the roof here. Let's go.
But anyways, guys, thank you once again for tuning in. Another really fun show. Keep up the comments. Keep up, like, subscribe, all that.
Yeah.
We're really grateful for all the support, and let us know who you want to see us interview next.